This week we're going to highlight a robust trend in U.S. soybean export sales. We're also going to come back and talk about a little bit of a slow start to the U.S. soybean planting pace, as well as highlight short-term weather trends. Hi, this is Brian Basting with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the soybean market. This market remains extremely volatile here, moving into the last half of April. We're going to start out this week looking at trends in the export market for U.S. beans. We're going to start out looking at the seasonal pattern for unshipped bean sales here in the U.S. Now what this slide does is look at the last 10 years of unshipped soybean export sales to all destinations except China. Here's the key message. A very strong seasonal pattern, as you can see there. At harvest in October, that tends to peak as the buyers come in and purchase at what is usually lowest time period of the year for prices, and it diminishes quite rapidly then in early part of the calendar year as the buyers turn to Brazil and Argentina for their needs. Now, we're going to highlight 17-18, or add that to the chart if you will, in that green line showing that there was a surge there 4 years ago, and that was directly linked to a smaller Argentina soybean crop. Buyers had to come to the U.S. to cover their needs because the crop was smaller than expected in Argentina. Now we're going to highlight what's taking place here in 2022. In that purple line, we've seen an increase in sales directly linked to that smaller than expected Brazil soybean crop. What does that mean in the big picture? Now we're going to take a look at unshipped soybean export sales to all destinations for this period of the year, early April. We're going to highlight here that we're at a little over 400 million bushels. That's the third highest total ever for this time of year in early April. And that's a direct function of that surge in sales we've seen in relation to the smaller than expected crop in Brazil. Here's the key point. We're looking at the last 4 weeks. We're above the average as buyers have turned aggressively here to the U.S. What's the implication? Right now, our research department is forecasting exports for beans at 2.18 billion bushels. That's 65 million bushels above where the USDA is forecasting. Again, we'll see how this evolves going forward, but right now we're looking at a tighter carryout than forecast by the USDA. Let's switch gears here and focus on what the trend is in U.S. soybean planting progress. Let's take a look at our nationwide map. Now we're very early, needless to say, here in soybean planting, only 1% done nationwide here. Last year at this time we were at 2%. It is worth noting there were a couple states last year that got off to a quick start. Illinois was already at 4% planted last year. Indiana was at 3%. Both those states at 0 at this stage. Now we're looking at the next 2 weeks from April 17th to May 1st. Approximately 11% of the beans are planted. That's the 5-year average. So we're looking at around 13% of the beans are planted by the 1st of May. That's going to be directly tied to the weather, of course, this year. Speaking of weather, let's take a look at the short-term weather trends. Our slides this week, as usual, are courtesy of T-Storm Weather. We're starting out here looking at the moisture over the last 14 days, more of a proxy for topsoil moisture. Very dry in the west. As we move further east, closer to normal, and as we move further north following that blizzard last week, excessively wet up in North Dakota. Now we're going to get specific. Wednesday through Friday, that pink area is a ½ inch to an inch of rain. So there is some rainfall moving in here with the warmer temps. Now we're looking forward here to Saturday through Monday, heavier rainfall possibly on the horizon. 1 to 2 inches in those pink areas, and scattered rainfall in the green. Now if we move forward to next week here, it's more of a disorganized rainfall pattern. It'll be more of a showery type of pattern, but cooler temperatures are on the horizon for that last week in April. Let's wrap things up this week looking at trends in November soybean futures. We're looking at November 2022 soybean futures trading near $15.25 a bushel for mid to late April. That's the highest price ever for this time of year. So we continue to encourage you to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to not only manage any remaining 2021 bushels, but also look ahead to 2022. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us, 800-664-2321. We'll put you in contact with one of our risk management consultants who'll be happy to visit with you at your convenience. And remember, we upload every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an upload. Thanks a lot. Have a good week.